belief. Do you believe that this world is in need of dire moral healing? Where does religion come into all this?
Well, well, if you're talking about morals, that is the second stage. Well, I would like us to deal with the first stage first, which is the natural impulse of man. Man is ever inside to evil. That's chapter 12, verse 54 of the Holy Quran. Man is ever incited to evil. He is ever ready to incite to evil. So this is what man should be dealing with first. Their bravery, integrity, meekness, benevolence. So these are all qualities. They are the natural state of man that needs, when regulated at the right place and at the right time, that will take you to the moral state.
So you need a combination of these factors.
Yes.
The absence of one
will not guarantee absolutely the elevation to the next level, which is the moral state.
So what is the not even the probability? What is the possibility of one attaining all this?
Well, it's just really moral to stick to
benchmarks.
To stick to the Holy Quran and the Hadith of the Holy Prophet.
You find them there.
Absolutely, because the Quran, that's what the Quran does. That's what it does. That's why the Quran was sent to us. The Quran is to, for those three stages, the natural state, the moral state, and the spiritual state of man. These are the three stages that the Quran deals with. That's why it was sent to
mankind. Man to overcome his moral instincts, or natural instincts that we call them.
Natural impulse.
Natural impulse. Different from instinct, huh? Or it's a matter of semantics. What then, fine. What man does to overcome? Is it a question of really doing something else to overcome those natural impulses or natural instincts? Well, do you need to overcome all of them? Because some of them may be good, I want to believe.
You just need to practicalize them. Islam is a practical religion.
But then, I mean man's instincts. Either good or bad. What do you need to overcome? The bad one.
Absolutely.
And Islam tells you what the bad ones are.
Yeah. Even in science, you get it in conventional whatever religion or the conventional way of life. You got the good and the bad.
Okay.
Even with the good, there is an element of the doing good. There is different stages.
So when you overcome that natural aspect of it, then what is the next level?
You're promoted to the moral stage.
Moral stage.
Yes. The moral stage is whereby the natural impulse, they are regulated.
So how is the transition like, the interface?
Well, the transition is only somebody who have been through it can just tell you.
So really. You need to experience it.
Yes, you need to experience it. That is to regulate all those, the benevolence, the bravery, everything. You regulate it at the very place and the very time.
We don't learn lessons from other people's experiences in this particular circumstance. Well, is that the case?
Well, really and truly, that can act like as a guideline.
It as a guideline.
To guide you, for
probably
you to
there are greater
like
forces.
Stimulation, to stimulate you into it.
And there are greater forces, probably.
Well, yeah, it's from the from the Most High, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, because
and some of the reasons
He will pull you from the inside.
And some of
whereby you withdraw totally from earth. You are no longer earthly. You will be godly. So people can even see that. Oh, Alhaji Kebadiba is mad now. He is crazy. So you are not crazy, but you are inclined to the heavenly world.
Then moral, from there, then we go to the spiritual.
Spiritual, the limitless ozone of spirituality, whereby you can
so attain that level of spiritual propriety, you have to go through the natural.
Absolutely.
The moral.
Natural, moral, and spiritual.
Spiritual.
Just like you go into conventional school, you go to nursery school, primary 1, 2, 3 different stages, or primary stages, secondary stages, and university stages, higher education, if you might call it, if I can call it.
But do we know them in society? Do we know such people? Do we identify them? What's the trademark?
The trademark
of those kind of people that have reached that level of spiritual propriety.
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't think people are good at recognizing them unless they deify them. For instance, I give you an example of probably one of these religious leaders, Alhaji Ibrahim Anyes. He never called.
So those are the people we locally call wali, and
yeah, they actually arrive at the spiritual level, whereby they don't even call people to follow them. People follow them willy-nilly. People just follow them, because I never heard from anybody saying, if Sehal Islam Ibrahim Anyes call them to come and follow them. They never call for any office. They never request for any office whatsoever, whether Mahdi or you call it whatever. They never denounce any office. But people follow them because of their spirituality. People follow them because of what they do, what they see them doing. People follow them because of...
No. I just don't want to cut you, so let me make this point. My deputy director general often speaks on in parables sometimes. He tells me, look, before you take a big stick, and trying to run around people, force people to follow you, do the good things they expect of you, then they will rally back.
Mashallah.
Is that
Mashallah.
the kind of scenario?
Absolutely right. He's very right. He's very right. Because I follow President Jammeh. Whatever he tells, whatever he asks the Gambian populace to do, I will be the first person to do it, simply because he's acting it.
So do you find yourself spiritually in tune with him somehow? Because he seems to be quite a spiritual man.
No, all the time.
Believes too much
all
in
the time. To my understanding, because that's what I can see a spiritual person can do. Somebody who can...
And could that be crucial in leadership at every stage?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I just see him like really from when the time of the Holy Prophet adventing in Mecca. Mecca was, you know, any act of barbarism was in practice at the time. Gambling, adultery, you know, men marrying their mothers, you know, mothers killing their daughters with their bare hands, you know, any kind of barbarism.
We talked about society is in need of moral restitution, in the beginning of these things.
Exactly. So that's how I see him. I see him as somebody who just come and rescue the Gambia, you know, from being barbaric to the natural impulse. So that's where we are right now, the natural impulse, and as far as Gambia is concerned.
So we are at the basics of it.
We are
at the starting point of it.
Yes, sir. Because everybody is just
So
waiting for
when did the crusade begin? When did it actually begin?
Well, the crusade...
With President Jammeh's advent?
Well, to tell you the truth, I can really and genuinely say that, yes, from the advent of the Second Republic. Second Republic, yes. Gambia today, I call it.
So, and this is a problem not akin to only the Gambia. It's a global problem.
It is.
Nations and the nation states need moral cleansing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But also...
But then it has us... Then, I think... Then that is what we call decadence across. At the natural, moral and the spiritual level, if you look at the world. So if we are to start from the spiritual, come to the moral, and then we start rather with the natural. Moral, and then to the spiritual
state of mind.
We beginners. Where do we fit in the greater scheme of things in the wider global setting?
Well, beginners, sometimes, you know, they are fast learners. Beginners, they are slow learners. We can be fast learners. We can practicalize Islam. Islam, when you practicalize Islam, when you take a step, Allah will take 10 towards you. So imagine, if there is any delayance, it's solely because of the individual. Because if you take 2 steps, Allah will take 20 towards you. So imagine if the whole Gambia right now, we decide to say, listen, we stop all this bullshit. We stop all this nonsense that is going on, all this hypocrisy, all these lies, all this deceiving, and just want to focus entirely into doing what is right, just like what our national anthem is saying. Let's justify our actions towards the
let's just guide our actions towards the
common good.
But you know, you talk to people across the board, politicians, community leaders, religious leaders, they all talk about the same issue.
What issue?
That is the problem you're talking about.
Well, yes, some of them, you know, the reason why people are not taking it serious is because when you are saying one thing and you are doing the next. So it's one rule for you and another rule for the masses.
Oh, so that's why from the beginning you say you preach what you...
Absolutely, because that's why I said, press everybody